Good morning, Joliet. I don't mean that just because it's morning, because this is truly a new day for transportation, a new day for children and the transportation corridors all over this country and the state of Illinois. So thank you for coming today and celebrating with us. We're really happy and proud of all of the work that you've done to make this a reality and to make this the new way we will transport goods and children across this country. So thank you very much. On behalf of Mark Bedard, our CEO, and the entire Lion Electric team, we welcome you to the official grand opening of our Joliet factory that is over 900 square feet of manufacturing space. I've been in the transportation industry for over 30 years. There's actually a gentleman here in the crowd who actually hired me as a school bus driver 33 years ago. Don't talk to him, he has too many stories. During that professional career, I've been in bus yards and truck yards where hundreds of vehicles are starting up, spewing diesel fumes. There is a better way. There is a new way. There is a healthier way to do these things, and it starts now out of this factory in the state of Illinois. I'm particularly excited that we have the students here today. A lot of us here in the crowd remember where, wearing a seatbelt wasn't even the law. All we've known is putting fossil fuel in our vehicle. So we are depending on you, those of you that are not gilded with the barriers of our experience, to lead us to the true solution. We're here to get it started for you, but we need you to carry this to the finish line. So thank you for coming. We are at the forefront of America's rebirth in manufacturing, green manufacturing, and we are doing it here in the city of Joliet, and it's my pleasure to introduce the mayor of Joliet, Terry Darcy.
All I can say is, wow, this is so exciting. I mean, to see this innovation right here in our city, one of the many firsts that's going to happen here in the Joliet area, the Will County. Thank you, Nate. On behalf of the elected officials and the residents, I want to welcome all of you to the great city of Joliet. Governor Pritzker, Senators Duckworth and Durbin, Representatives Foster, Jackson, and Underwood, Director Shore of the EPA. We thank you for taking the time here for the grand opening of this facility. This will bring roughly 1,400 jobs to Joliet and Will County. At a time when our country is faced with historic flooding, damaging tornadoes, and dangerous heat waves, one can't help but think, what's the climate going to do for the next generations that unfold for our children and grandchildren? We all know fossil fuel emissions are a contributing factor to global warming. That's why Lion Electric and what they're doing here is so important. The company has made it their mission to take the lead in moving the nation from reliance on gas and oil to electric vehicles, which is better for the environment and for protecting the planet for generations to come. As someone who understands the transportation and automotive needs, I truly appreciate the technology Lion is putting in here to improve the environment and the future for all of us. Thank you to the leadership of Lion Electric for choosing Joliet for your new facility. Thank you.
Next, I want to introduce a very important man to what we're doing here today, our CEO, Mark Bedard. When I originally came to Lion and was looking at, is electrification really the way? I came from a world of diesel and didn't understand those things. And one of the things Mark said to me is, Nate, how can we not have fun doing this? And explained what he was trying to do and where we were going and how he saw the world that most of us did not. And that was the hook. And Mark, I can tell you today, I'm having a lot of fun. Please welcome Mark Bedard, CEO of Lion Electric.
Did I say that, Nate? Really? I was saying that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nate. Good morning, everyone. Governor Pritzker, 2 years ago, May 7th, 2021, you and I announced that we will be building the largest electric vehicle factory for medium-duty and heavy-duty vehicles in the United States. And that was 2 years ago. You remember that? Yeah, that was great. And here we are, just 2 years after, in this wonderful place, and where we are already been manufacturing electric school buses for our kids. This is awesome. May 7th, 2021 was also, well, without a doubt, it was a very special day for Lion, but it was also a special day for myself. And early in the morning, we made the announcement of this plant. On the same day, Lion also became a public corporation, listed on the New York Stock Exchange and the TSX as well. In the afternoon, we were ringing the bell at the New York Stock Exchange, and while we were ringing the bell, my daughter, she's somewhere, my daughter gave birth at the same time. Yeah, and then I said, well, if I can do it, I can do anything, right? That was a big day, and timing is everything. And I think the timing is right for what we're doing right now. Today is a very special day, and for all of us, and we have a lot to celebrate. Our factory has been in operation less than 2 years after Governor Pritzker and myself made the announcement. And this is despite COVID, and despite, the challenges of, the world supply chain crisis that we went through. And I think this is quite an achievement that we've done. And it's really, a team thing. It's really, with the suppliers, with the, the contractors as well. The customers also, a lot of them, were involved. But I want to thank our employees. And there's many of us right here, many of the employees, and that's because of you that this is all happening. So we're all very proud of you. Thank you. It is also the first vehicle assembly plant in the Chicago area since 1965. Yes. And at full scale, this plant will have a manufacturing capacity of about 20,000 units a year, and it's a mix of electric buses and electric trucks. This factory also is key to the, sometimes we talk about the EV ecosystem. Well, the ecosystem we're building right now in the United States is real. This is happening as we speak, and this is real in the United States, but this is very real in Illinois as well, and this is very exciting. In fact, every vehicle that we manufacture and produce in this place creates what we call the green economy. And green economy, you probably heard that. That means an economy that is based on sustainable development that fosters social and environmental sustainability as well. That means a lot. So it's not only like green economy for nothing, it means a lot. And picking this location was not a coincidence at all. We're in the middle of the heartland of the United States. We're very close to our customer base and to our supplier base as well. Very close to all, the highways, and it makes it very efficient also in the way we're doing things. Lion Electric and the state of Illinois are leading the way when it comes to commercial electric vehicles. And it's very clear to me that more than ever right now. And we really value the state's forward-thinking mindset and policies as well. We've had a lot of discussions with the governor, and this is happening, and this is great, and we like the great resources that the state and the city has to offer as well. So in this regard, I would like to extend my personal thanks to all of you, especially Governor Pritzker, Senator Durbin, Senator Duckworth, the Representatives Foster and Underwood, the Cook and Will counties, P33, as well in the city of Joliet for their great support. Thank you to all of you. Please. today we have to keep building this great EV adoption momentum. And for this, we need the support of the business sector, of course. But also we need incentives, federal incentives, incentives at the state level, the local governments across the country. We need the support everywhere to accelerate the deployment of electric vehicles. Thanks to those great initiatives, school buses right now are driving the transition to electric. And Lion Electric is the leading manufacturer in that space with a significant first mover advantage. And this is to the benefit of the school bus contractors. And it's really those great school bus operators and school districts that are driving this transition as we speak. And I would like to share a few examples with you. First student and first student's goal of electrifying 30,000 buses by 2035. First student, yes. First student has already started with 270 Lion buses in operation as we speak, and this is the largest North American operation of electric school buses. And thanks to John Kenning, Jim Moise, Kevin Matthews, Alex Cook, and the whole team at First Student. Student Transportation of America is also moving toward their goal of zero-emission vehicles. And STA has already committed to 1,000 Lion electric school buses in North America. National Express is leading the way by piloting vehicle-to-grid buses, and they are really a pioneer, and they are achieving bidirectional flow of energy with Lion, and they're getting the data from those buses as this technology will be evolving in the future. Atlanta Public Schools just purchased 25 Lion buses in the first round of the EPA, and they look to electrify their fleet as well. And I want to thank, I was discussing with Anthony this morning, Anthony Ashley. I want to thank you, Anthony, for your leadership in this regard. Finally, American Transportation, having acquired 25 Lion buses and not stopping, thanks to the Wilson family, and I think Dan Jr. and Dan Sr., you are with us right now to celebrate this big day with us. So thank you. So I would like to congratulate all of those great operators, school districts, and many others as well for everything that you guys are doing. That's because of you that this is happening. But the same kind of EV regulations and incentives that we have right now for school buses, we need them with respect to the commercial trucks as well. And you know that the commercial trucks, they are a huge contributor of greenhouse gas emissions. We need exactly new regulation, and we need more subsidies as well to make it happen. The electric commercial truck market is just beginning. We're just at the beginning of it right now, but it's favorable total cost of ownership compared to diesel makes it a very wise decision for the truck operators to go with electric. And they could drastically, decrease their cost and just increase their, the profitability of their operation. So as you can see, the whole EV market is booming right now, and I hope you realize that Lion is ready. Some people still believe Lion is an overnight success. In fact, this week marks 15 years from the day that we started Lion. Yeah. It all started in 2008 with a dream to make a better world. And ever since, with a group of passionate people. And we have been hurdling unprecedented milestone after milestone every day in the pursuit of a sustainable future. So happy birthday, Lion. Happy birthday to all of you. And with that, I am honored to introduce our friend, champion for Lion Electric and the people of Illinois, ladies and gentlemen, Governor J.B. Pritzker.
Thank you, Mark. Well, thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for the very kind introduction, and maybe more importantly, for the leaps forward that you and Lion Electric are taking right here in Joliet and taking the state of Illinois on. This is now home, as all of you heard, to the largest all-electric manufacturing plant of buses and commercial vehicles of this size in the entire United States. And that really is something to celebrate. I want to express my gratitude to County Chair Bertino Tarrant, to Mayor Darcy, to the many local officials, economic development, and elected officials too, who made today's announcement possible. Now, yesterday, I returned home from taking an Illinois delegation overseas where companies from multiple countries gathered together to discuss trade and investment in our state to advance our electric vehicle and clean energy future. We discussed a lot more than that, but that was the first half of the trip entirely. The state of Illinois is putting itself on the map internationally, and the world is taking notice. So it's altogether fitting and pride-worthy to celebrate today with this fantastic milestone from one of the most innovative zero-emission vehicle manufacturers in the world, Lion Electric. This new facility delivers a tremendous boost for Illinois' clean energy economy and our environmental leadership too. The number of jobs that are being created by Lion Electric has nearly doubled to 1,400 just since the announcement of its investment 2 years ago. And this is now the first new dedicated vehicle assembly plant to be built in the metropolitan Chicago area in over 50 years. Will County and the city of Joliet have such a rich history in manufacturing. And with our state's investments in EVs and in clean energy, we're ensuring building on that rich history here, creating jobs and opportunity for decades to come. Across the state, we've built incentives and provided grants for site upgrades. We've built out workforce development and community support programs. Just yesterday, we put out a call for applications to establish 13 regional CEJA, that's the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, CEJA workforce hubs, at least one of which will be located near Joliet. And we're incentivizing more electricity production under CEJA in a state that is already a net energy exporter. So I know that we have some young people here in the audience with us today from ComEd's After School Matters program and from the Boys and Girls Clubs of Chicago. And you know better than anyone else that this is about more than just cars on the road. It's also about making sure that we have the buses, the community experience of the new clean energy economy. Because and all of that is very important, it's predicated on having a planet that's environmentally sustainable for your generation and beyond. What Lion Electric is doing here in Joliet, what we're replicating all across the state of Illinois, is a real step forward in keeping this planet working for you and creating jobs for your future. And we're just getting started. A whole host of folks have played a role in the progress that we've made already. First and foremost, I do want to recognize again Mark Bedard and the Lion Electric team, all the folks who work here who really are making a difference. And of course, all the entrepreneurs who are staking out their claim in this industry in Illinois. I also want to recognize my partners in the legislature. I won't read all the names, but we have quite a number who are here with us today who've been partners in this endeavor. They helped us pass clean energy legislation, the Reimagine Electric Vehicles Act, as well as working with us on legislation that we'll be introducing in the coming legislative term as well. I want to also thank the local leaders who have championed Illinois' workforce as it deserves to be championed. And of course, our federal delegation, led by Senator Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth. I want to thank them and your Congresswoman, Underwood, who has done such a terrific job, all three of them championing our state and paving its way into the future. I've left names off this list, and I don't want to forget them, but I do want you all to know that we all are working together for this wonderful future that I think will have not only a better planet for all of us, but a better opportunity for everybody in the state of Illinois. So to our friends at Lion Electric, welcome to the land of Lincoln. And we want you to know how much pride we take in you being here. You are our newest, our great new corporate citizen of Illinois. So thank you, and with that, I am proud to introduce our senior United States Senator and a champion of our electric vehicle future, Senator Dick Durbin.
Bienvenue. Aujourd'hui, nous rugions ensemble comme des lions. What I think I just said was welcome. Today, we come together to roar like lions. I want to welcome our host, Lion Electric, for being part of this amazing and historic occasion. Special thanks to Mark Bedard, who not only believed in the concept of this company, but believed in the land of Lincoln and the state of Illinois. We thank you so much for that vote of confidence. Special thanks to Governor Pritzker. His determination to bring new businesses and jobs on the cutting edge of the American economy has benefited Illinois from Cairo to Zion, including Joliet today. I want to thank him personally and his staff and the members of the General Assembly for the state's contribution to the launch of this great effort. I want to add as well, on behalf of the congressional delegation, that this was a joint federal, state, and local venture, and that I think is one of the reasons for its success. Why are we concerned about school buses? Our nation's school bus fleet is the largest form of public transportation and one of our heaviest polluters in America. The emissions from diesel school buses have long contributed to lung conditions in children, including asthma. Each year, diesel buses emit millions of tons of greenhouse gases into our atmosphere. If you've been outside this summer, you know that's a problem. According to the World Meteorological Organization, this past June, was the hottest June on record in modern history. July has included 3 of the hottest days ever recorded in the modern history of our planet. The climate crisis is not on its way, it is here. Fortunately, thanks to legislation like the bipartisan infrastructure law in Washington, passed by Congress and signed by President Biden, we are beginning to address the health and climate implications of diesel guzzling machines. In 2021, my colleagues in Congress, including all of those here today, came together to pass this law on a bipartisan basis. The bipartisan infrastructure law funded many important efforts, but one of the most forward-thinking is the Clean School Bus Program it established under the EPA. This program is a $5 billion down payment on replacing diesel buses with clean alternatives like those we see today at Lion Electric. It's in the first round of funding, the Clean Bus School Program provided Illinois school districts with more than $48 million to replace their buses. The result, more than 100 new electric buses will be coming to our state, all of them committed to buying emissions-free buses. And if that weren't enough, thanks to Lion, we can say that many of those buses will be built right here in Joliet. In fact, as we learned today, this plant could soon be producing as many as 20,000 vehicles per year. What an amazing number. Because of this Clean School Bus Program, thousands of Illinois-made buses will be taking kids to school across America. And none of these kids will have to breathe diesel fumes on that ride. This is a remarkable achievement. What other benefits? How about 1,400 great jobs in the state of Illinois? People will come to work in this plant for many years to come. Illinois has a long history of auto manufacturing, But as Mark Bedard and Governor Pritzker mentioned, it's been more than half a century since we've seen a new venture like this. It's time for us to prove once again Illinois is the right state to do business in. I want to thank all those who are gathered here today. I thank my friends in the federal delegation for doing our part. Thank President Biden for signing that bill, and introduce my dear friend and one lion-hearted senator, Tammy Duckworth.
Well, good morning. It's always a great day when we get to launch an initiative as this, although it looks like you've already been hard at work. Thank you, Senator Durbin and Governor Pritzker. It's great to be here with you, especially to celebrate not just Lion Electric, but the future of manufacturing in Illinois. You know, as one of your senators, it's been one of my top priorities to elevate Illinois on the national and global stage in terms of its being uniquely prepared for greater investment and ready to help bring not just our state, but our nation into a greener future. I've met with Canadian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Melanie Joly. I've discussed with her all the work that Lion Electric is doing and the opportunities for future investments. I've traveled to countries like Taiwan and Japan where they want to come and invest in Illinois because we are so strong in all the different forms of that green energy future, because it is profitable for them. Not just because it's good for the earth, which is what my 5 and my 8-year-old care most deeply about, but it's also because it is profitable and it makes sense economically, and we can lead the nation and the world in this. At the federal level, Senator Durbin and I, thanks to leadership from the Biden administration, were able to secure significant support to help our country move forward towards that green energy future. You've heard about the bipartisan infrastructure law. We also had the Inflation Reduction Act and the CHIPS and Science Act all together really helped position our nation to move into the future. But I will tell you that we here in Illinois would not have been able to take advantage of those federal pieces of legislation as they were passed were it not for the hard work of Governor Pritzker and his team. The fact that he was already sitting down with Lion Electric in 2021, making deals and structuring a program so that we can have this wonderful facility here, even as the laws were being passed, shows you that he was laying the groundwork, that our state legislators were laying the groundwork so that when those federal dollars, that spigot was turned on, Illinois was at the front of the line, ready to go, ready to take advantage of it. And that's how we got those jobs here in Joliet today. So there's 2 critical provisions in the infrastructure law that's helping make the work here at Lion Electric possible. One is the over $62 billion through the Department of Energy to support clean energy. And second, the law also created the EPA's new Clean School Bus Program, which, as Dick has mentioned, will replace all of our nation's school buses with electric school buses. Supporting green energy, supporting green manufacturing benefits us all in so many ways, and I'm just so pleased to welcome Lion Electric here to Illinois. We are, at your federal delegation, committed to advancing Illinois, and we're very lucky in that we have with us Senator Durbin, who is the majority whip. You need to know that the reason the bipartisan infrastructure law was passed was because he was there hard at work every single day. We have the only physicist in the United States Congress in Bill Foster, so that we can always go to him and say, Bill, does this make sense? And as much as I try to understand Bill when he tries to explain to me why it makes sense, sometimes I don't get everything he's saying. And I just sat down and then talked at length with Lauren Underwood about what we can do next for Joliet in this area. So know that we're working together, we're working locally as well, and we're going to continue to make these investments. Illinois is already well on her way to being the nation's leader when it comes to green manufacturing. Now we're going to take it to the next level and be a global leader as well. Thank you, everyone, and welcome, Lion Electric. It's now my great pleasure to introduce my good friend, Congresswoman Lauren Underwood.
Well, good morning. It is my true pleasure to be with all of you today. As many of you know, I'm Representative Lauren Underwood, and I have the honor of representing the city of Joliet as part of Illinois' 14th Congressional District. Thank you to Lion Electric for welcoming us back here so warmly today, and I'm so pleased to be joining Administrator Deborah Shore, Governor Pritzker, Senators Durbin and Duckworth, and my colleague, Congressman Foster, Mayor Darcy, and members of our community to celebrate this incredible grand opening here at Lion Electric today. Now, I have great memories with Lion Electric. Last year, Secretary Pete Buttigieg and my youth transportation advisor, a third grader named Rowan, joined me on one of these incredible buses, and we discussed how clean energy investments from the bipartisan infrastructure law will pave the way for a brighter future for kids like Rowan. Rowan's excitement that day fueled my belief that a commitment to clean energy infrastructure is a commitment to the future for our children. Rowan and every child deserve to breathe clean air. The bipartisan infrastructure law delivers historic investments in our clean energy infrastructure, including $5 billion for manufacturers like Lion Electric to expand our country's fleet of electric school buses. We invested in facilities like these because the technology being developed here will help make sure that kids like Rowan can breathe clean air. Clean energy infrastructure is critical to making that possible. And replacing diesel vehicles with electric buses is one way that we can reduce the pollution in the air for the more than 25 million children and thousands of school bus drivers who breathe polluted air on their rides to and from school. This grand opening is so very special, and I am just beaming with pride that this important work is being done right here in Joliet. We are on track to make sure that our transportation is cleaner than ever before, and this is just the beginning. So thank you all so much for being here today, and now I'd like to welcome up my colleague, Congressman Bill Foster.
Well, thank you all for being here today. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Congressman Bill Foster. I guess I'm best known as being the only PhD scientist in Congress, but I'm also, for the most of the last 10 years, represented Joliet as part of the 11th Congressional District of Illinois. And although the maps have changed, I've left a big part of my heart in Joliet, and that part will never leave. And as a scientist, I also want to just give you the answer to something that's been bothering me for a long time, which is if you look at the name of the company here, Lion Electric, there are two possible meanings for that. The first one for the powerful and graceful animal, or it could represent lithium ion. All right, the battery technology that underlies this and makes it all possible, a big part of which was actually developed at Argonne National Labs, which is something we should be proud of forever here. And so Mark has given me the answer to that question, which is it started out with Lion and it's come to mean both. So that's the, and I'm also a businessman, and if you're a businessman, a manufacturing businessman, there are 3 points that you just remember for the rest of your life. And the first time is that moment when you had the idea for the product, and you say, we could actually do this, and there should be a market for it if we thought it right. Then there's a second moment when you finally get your first prototype to work. And then you get your first contract and you build your factory. And then there's the magic moment when the first item rolls off the production line. And that's another moment that will stay with you forever. And it's something where you and every worker that made it possible should just be proud of forever. And so I'm proud to be here with you to celebrate that moment. Thank you all. And now, it's my honor to introduce Deb Shore, the EPA Region 5 Director.
Thank you, Congressman, and hello, everyone. I'm Deborah Shore, the Regional Administrator for the United States Environmental Protection Agency, and it's an honor to be here today to help celebrate Lion Electric's grand opening. Every day, children all across this country ride the bus to and from school, seeing and hearing the bus pull up to your stop in the morning, watching those double doors open. It's a quintessential experience for millions of American children and probably a trip down memory lane for many of us here today. But as you've heard, traditional school buses emit toxic pollutants into the air, not only harmful to the environment, but also harmful to the health and well-being of the students they transport, not to mention the bus drivers and people who live along bus routes. The time has come to take a hard look at the way we transport our children and recognize that we can do better. Thanks to the leadership of President Biden and the support of our congressional partners, thank you, the bipartisan infrastructure law provides an unprecedented $5 billion investment for low and zero-emission school buses. EPA's administrator, Michael Regan, loves electric buses, and I know he was disappointed he couldn't be here with us today. Just a couple of months ago, he announced $400 million available for clean school bus grants. This follows the nearly $1 billion already awarded through our Clean Bus Rebate Program, launched last year. Grant proposals are being accepted from school districts and other eligible school transportation providers until August 22nd. A clean transportation future means cleaner air and less pollution. It means healthier kids and healthier communities. It means less time out of school and increased focus and productivity. And it means good paying jobs in American manufacturing. Thanks to Lion Electric and our industry partners, this vision will become a reality. I couldn't be more optimistic about where we're headed, and I couldn't be more grateful to all of you here today and the countless others who are working to build, quite literally, a cleaner and healthier future for our children. I want to turn now to Dr. Paul Kearns, Director of Argonne National Laboratory.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to provide a few remarks. And Congressman Foster, thank you very much for the shout out, really acknowledgement of Argonne's contribution. A little known fact about the lab, about half of the electric vehicles in the world today have argon technology in them. It's really phenomenal in terms of the impact we've been able to deliver through the great science that many in the community and many in Congress, as well as the Department of Energy, has supported over time. So really a fantastic occasion for us to be here and to celebrate with Lion and the community in terms of really the ribbon cutting here at Lion's new manufacturing facility. How could you not want to be a part of what's occurring here? We started with a dream to make a better world. We talked about a better way. We talked about the rebirth of manufacturing, building some 20,000 vehicles a year. And we talked about really empowering the green economy, creating good paying jobs, and really making a difference on a daily basis in terms of the work that's being done here at the manufacturing facility. So really phenomenal in that way. Lion's commitment to seeking new technologies, pursuing innovation, really, and Argonne's focus on advancing science and technology for prosperity and security really make us ideal partners as we move forward. And I'm very pleased to just provide a brief insight, comment in terms of how we're working together. Great conversation underway with Lion. I understand we've just signed some of the initial paperwork associated with establishing a demonstration of bidirectional vehicle-to-grid charging, discharging capabilities. Really exciting for us in terms of a possible additional enhanced reason for purchasing an electric school bus. We're really pleased to see that happen. Through this collaboration, we're going to be sharing really data on battery end-of-life management, gaining real-world insights that drive future advances in transportation, and I believe really accelerating transition to a carbon-free economy, as we've talked about broadly here. We certainly look forward to really partnering with Lion as the effort moves forward and being a part more actively of the community here in Joliet and across all of northern Illinois in that regard. So let me conclude with my congratulations as well to not only the Lion Electric and the team that made this happen, really inspired by what they've been able to accomplish, and for a fairly short period of time here on the ground, but also recognize their determination, the vision, really that they've and the strong commitment they made over quite some time to get to this point. So really noteworthy. Also want to thank our elected officials and the federal government. Certainly the Department of Energy has been part of the conversation along the way. And I also want to give a shout out to the community in the state of Illinois and our local elected officials as well. So congratulations. It's my opportunity now to introduce Klein Namuo, Joliet Junior College President. Namuo, thank you.
Thanks so much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Klein Namuo, and I proudly serve as the 10th president of Joliet Junior College, the nation's very first community college. And hearing Congressman Foster speak, it's also my pleasure to announce the next professor in our science department at Joliet Junior College, Congressman Bill Foster. It's news to him. Thank you, and congratulations to Lion, the entire team, to Mark, to Nate, to Brian, the entire team. Now, over Joliet Junior College's long history, we've had the pleasure to partner with hundreds of companies across the 7 counties we serve. And it's a beautiful thing when 2 things happen. Number one, when the organization we're working with understands and values the role of higher education, but more specifically, the role of community colleges in developing the workforce for today and the workforce of the future. And the second thing that makes this partnership so beautiful is when our values align around sustainability, around green energy. Joliet Junior College proudly serves as a fiscal agent for the Illinois Green Economy Network. And thankful to partner with Lion Electric, and they've been a proactive partner in the development of green curriculum to ensure that our programs align with their needs, that the pipeline from our classrooms to this facility is as efficient as possible. In fact, for many of our automotive students, this factory is currently an extension of the classroom. Through a new and innovative model, our students have the flexibility to take classes in JJC's automotive program, then come to work here as entry-level assemblers and end-of-the-line technicians. Not only are they receiving hands-on, real-world training and experience, but they're also priority candidates when they become applicants to work here full-time. As Governor, yes, thank you. Now, as Governor Pritzker mentioned, CEJA was signed into place in 2021 as a comprehensive energy legislation that incentivizes renewable energy, accelerates EV adoption, and expands charging infrastructure and creates statewide clean energy workforce training programs. JJC stands ready, willing, and able to expand our partnership with Lion Electric through CEJA funding. And this is just the beginning. As the nation's very first community college, we'll join with Lion and Governor Pritzker in the state of Illinois to continue to drive innovation. We wish Lion the absolute best. Thank you for your partnership with Joliet Junior College. It means a lot to us to continue to drive the state of Illinois forward and its green economy. Next up, it's my pleasure to introduce Gil Quinones, the CEO of ComEd.
Thank you very much, Dr. Namuo. I'm so pleased to be with you all, and I want to give a special shout out and recognition to the 100+ ComEd youth ambassadors joining us today. Each of you is an example of how ComEd is striving to develop the talent we need to support a robust electric vehicle ecosystem in Illinois. Now, consider all the stars that had to align to get us to this day. A company in Lion Electric with a bold vision for expanding clean transportation and the desire to choose Northern Illinois for its first U.S. manufacturing site. A bipartisan infrastructure bill passed into law with the help of Illinois' congressional delegation, whose members helped secure federal funding to accelerate the adoption of EVs in that bill. A governor whose forward-looking climate and economic policies put Illinois on a clear path to being a leader in electric vehicles production and adoption. He is our chief architect of the Climate Equitable Jobs Act, a nation-leading energy law, and we affectionately call him also as our chief marketing officer, creating an environment to attract and retain clean energy jobs and businesses in our state. And of course, our dedicated local and regional partners like the Will County Center for Economic Development and many other leaders at the county and in Joliet who provided support critical to LionC's growth. At ComEd, we are proud to be another star in this constellation. We supported Lion Electric with site selection. We are providing the infrastructure to deliver cleaner, reliable power to the plant. And that same infrastructure will be critical to powering the electric vehicles produced here. At ComEd, we're investing $231 million over 3 years to advance electrification in Northern Illinois, with the majority of funds dedicated to boosting access to electric vehicles, electrifying fleets, and preparing a charging network. We're also providing business customers access to rebates that can offset the purchase of clean commercial vehicles like those that will be made right here at Lion. As those businesses electrify their fleets, it will position Illinois to make good on its ambitious clean transportation goals. So thank you to Lion Electric and to this incredible coalition of partners standing here today. Today's grand opening is just the beginning. Here's to a brighter, more electrified future. And now, I'll hand it over to my good friend, Mark Denzler, President and CEO of Illinois Manufacturers Association.
Good morning. What a great day for manufacturing in Illinois and the United States. And you have a lot of VIPs up on stage, but the real stars of the show today are the buses and the trucks and the employees that you see out here. It's really been a pleasure to work with Mark and Nate and Brian and Nick and Inga and the entire Lion team so that we can help them make their dream a reality right here in the land of Lincoln. Thank you to the governor. I just got to spend 5 days with him and Gil in London to see his passion and his heart for attracting companies like Lion Electric to the state of Illinois. Thank you to Senators Durbin and Duckworth and all of our state, local, federal officials, business leaders, education leaders. I'm proud to represent the Illinois Manufacturers Association and great manufacturing companies like Lion Electric. I'm really proud to be joined by our chairman and treasurer, Greg Webb with ADM, large company, and Carrie DeMergy and Huss with TCSI, the largest and smallest of the companies in Illinois, both committed and working on clean energy. According to Manufacturing Matters study, Illinois manufacturers today employ 650,000 women and men on factory floors that produce the single largest share of our state's economy. And as the governor often says, Illinois just became a $1 trillion economy, or the fifth state in the nation to earn that designation. These are great. Manufacturers offer great high-paying jobs that average more than $80,000 a year in wages and benefits. And the governor also likes to say, I heard this a lot in London, that Illinois' economy on its own is the 18th largest economy in the world. We would be G20. Well, if Illinois' manufacturing economy was its own country, we'd be the 63rd largest economy in the world. Illinois is well positioned to continue our growth in the manufacturing sector because of our central location, our world-class city, a global airport, great colleges and universities, robust infrastructure, access to water, cheap and efficient energy, and most importantly, our skilled workforce. Illinois manufacturers have been involved in nearly every major historical event in our nation's history, and we're doing it again with the energy transformation. We're a proud manufacturing state, and Lion only adds to that rich and historic legacy as the first manufacturer of electric school buses and trucks in the United States. As I like to say, manufacturing makes the world a better place to live every single day. And while I don't know what our next challenge may be in Illinois or the nation, I do know for a fact that Illinois manufacturers will be on the front line, whether it's making the next life-saving medicine, advancing our energy future, taking us to the moon and beyond, providing for our nation's defense, feeding the world, or transporting our kids in electric school buses. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce a great partner for Illinois, Doug Pryor with the Will County EDC.
Good morning. Thank you to all of our friends from Lion and everybody from the community who helped make this project a reality. As you know, it's been a long road, and I want to take just a moment to take you back to the beginning of this project. This site selection process was happening at the height of COVID. It was always cold, too, for some reason, but it was happening at the height of COVID. It was hard for these folks to travel here, our Canadian partners to travel here. There was so much uncertainty. There were so many projects that were slowing down, taking a breather. But Lion Electric believed in their project. They believed in their mission, and through the work of the people up here and in the community, believed in Illinois, our governor's message, Will County, and the city of Joliet. We're so grateful that they believed in us, and they're here today, and there are so many partners on this team. You have a lot of enthusiastic and extraordinary people working at Lion Electric, but I want to take just a quick moment. Nate, so many early mornings, late nights, panels, conferences, events, tours. It was always cold for the tours, too. And so many miles. So thank you so much for the effort and the partnership that you've already put into this community while you're building this facility. It's been extraordinary. And look around now. You have a group of leaders and a community here that is committed to supporting you and your success in this facility. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Doug. I really appreciate that. So now what I want to do is just point out a few of the folks. We were talking about workers and some of the leadership needs that it takes to build a factory like this. And I'd like to quickly introduce those leaders that put in those long hours as well, longer hours than I do even. Our Chief Commercial Officer, Brian Perrin. Our Chief Operating Officer, Yannick Poulin. Our Executive Vice President and CFO, Nick Brunet. And our Vice President of Commercial Operations and Customer Success, Marc-Andre Paget. Again, I want to thank everybody for helping us celebrate this day today. And it's not over. We're going to give you a factory tour, show you how we build these things, how they're different, let you see what's underneath that yellow body so you can understand the work we're doing and how advanced it is. We're also going to be doing some ride and drives on the property, not on the public roads, but on the property, and we invite you to get behind the wheel of these vehicles and actually drive them. So an exciting day. You have to feel the tangible power of these vehicles and that they're real and they do what they're supposed to do. We're also going to provide lunch. But right now, I'd like to invite this delegation and in the front row as well to do a ribbon cutting Lion Electric style.
kind of unusual. Everything we're doing, right? One, two, three.
We are going to lead the way off to a tour with this group, and the media can join us at the end there, and we can answer questions as well as we do the tour. Thank you.
What's next?